Good morning, Clear Creek Comments. Today is Wednesday, January 6th, and it's a blue day here if you're in person at Clear Creek. We do not have any birthdays to celebrate today, but we do have one special announcement. Coming up in a couple weeks on January 18th is Martin Luther King Day. And over the next couple of weeks, we will be sharing information about Martin Luther King Jr. and also ways that you can celebrate his life when we're off school on January 18th. Today, I have a short video to share with you about Martin Luther King Jr.'s life. I hope you enjoy and hopefully you learn a fact or two about him.
Dr. King, a leader and a hero. Do you recognize this man? People all over the world know his face. They know his name. Now you will too. This is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and he was an American hero. Dr. King was born in Atlanta, Georgia on January 15, 1929. That was more than 90 years ago. Here's a picture of Martin when he was 6 years old. He loved riding his bike, playing baseball, and eating ice cream. Martin's best friend was a boy who lived nearby, but that changed one day when his friend told him they couldn't play together anymore. His friend was white, and Martin was black. His friend's father didn't want his son playing with a black child. This made Martin sad and angry. He didn't understand why he couldn't play with his friend. During that time, there were laws in parts of our country that kept white people and black people apart. Keeping people apart like this is called segregation. The law said that black people and white people had to go to different schools, parks, and restaurants. The schools and parks for black people were often old and run down. The schools and parks for white people had newer books and better playgrounds. In some states, black and white people were not allowed to use the same water fountains and bathrooms. Buses were segregated too. When Martin was all grown up, the laws hadn't changed. He and many other people knew these laws were unfair, and the laws made him very angry. But he was a peaceful man. He did not want to use violence to change the laws. So what did he do? Dr. King used his words. He wrote letters, newspaper articles, and even books. He wanted to persuade people to end segregation. He organized marches. He led big groups of people as they walked through streets. They all thought the laws were wrong. Other people saw these marches and began to ask themselves, are these laws really fair? Dr. King also gave speeches. He spoke in front of thousands of people. In 1963, Dr. King gave his most famous speech at a big march in Washington, D.C. He talked about his dreams for the future. He said he believed that someday the world would be a better place.
My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Dr. King's words made people feel hopeful. When he spoke, the crowd cheered and clapped. Some people cried and hugged each other. They also believed the time had come for things to change. His dream helped other people dare to dream too. There were still some people who didn't want the laws to change. They were angry with Dr. King for trying to change them. They tried to hurt him and his family. That was scary. But Dr. King was brave. He didn't let those people stop him. He kept working. He knew he was doing what was right. Dr. King was a great leader. He inspired many people. He made them feel brave and strong. He made them believe that together they could make a change. It can be hard for one person to change the world on his or her own. But when thousands of people work together, they can make a big difference. And they did. It took a long time, but the laws of segregation did finally change. Dr. King's leadership and hard work helped make the world a better place. Dr. King is no longer with us. Still, people remember him and continue his good work. We celebrate him every year in January on his birthday. On this day, we take time to think about his life and what he did for our country. But you can celebrate him every day. You can spread his message of love, peace, and fairness by treating others with kindness and respect.
Well-managed classroom focus skill of the week this week is listening. And when we listen, we have 3 steps that we practice. First, we look at the person who is talking and make sure that we remain quiet. We wait until the person is finished talking before we speak, and we show that we've heard the person by nodding your head or saying okay, or that's interesting, or possibly asking a question. So while you're listening to your teacher today, or your classmates, or your parents, make sure that you're following those 3 steps. We're also working on our school-wide procedure of bus expectations this week. And so on the bus, we treat others right by using our hands and feet safely. We use kind words, and we make sure that our voice level is at a 2. We make smart decisions by walking onto the bus, down the aisle on the bus, and then off the bus to our house or into the school. We sit back to back and bottom to bottom. We're making sure that our bottom is touching the bottom of the seat and our back is touching the back of the seat. That's the best way to sit on the bus so that we can all ride safely, and we should make sure that we keep the aisle clear. We maximize our potential by taking all of our personal items off the bus and keeping food and drinks in our backpacks. On Monday, we started our new core value for the month of January, which is responsibility. And it has been said, responsibility finds a way, irresponsibility makes an excuse. Do you find a way or make an excuse when you are given a responsibility? Something to think about. Please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence. We have 2 5th graders that are going to lead us in the pledge today. We'll begin with our moment of silence, and then our 5th grade leaders will take us away.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be a leader today, treat others right, make smart decisions, maximize your potential. The Clear Creek Comets are leading the way. Have a wonderful day. Shine on, Comets.